BYU women's volleyball once again cruised to a 3-0 victory and continue their winning ways.
The BYU women's basketball team took the court last night in their preseason showcase. Find out their expectations for the coming season.
Struggle comes with being disciplined enough to just be calm and trust your body to react. So when you do that, you dig everything.
We send in one of our own to find out what it takes to play on the #1 team in the country. It's time for Sportsline.
Welcome back to Sportsline. Hey Nathan, did you catch that Lakers game last night?
You know, I caught a little bit of the Showtime last night, and I got to say that LeBron looks as good as ever, but
doesn't he?
The Lakers need some work still. They got some pieces there, but they got to tidy it up a bit.
They're on that losing streak against the Blazers, but you know, we do have fortunately one team here at BYU that is not losing. While the BYU women's volleyball team is still ranked #1. They continue their undefeated streak this week as they took down LMU in 3 sets. The Cougars advanced their record to 19-0 and 9-0 in conference play. Senior setter Lindy Haddock-Epic matched her season high with 12 digs and 24 assists. Ronnie Jones-Perry led the team in kills with 12. McKenna Miller and Kennedy Eschenberg also played well in the 15th Cougar sweep of the season. #1 BYU will face Pepperdine in the Smith Fieldhouse on Saturday at 1 p.m. The game will be broadcasted on BYU TV.
BYU's home game student sections are always known for roaring loud, but the #1 team in the nation credits a lot of their success to the supportive energy of those fans. Sportsline reporter Natasha Ramirez is here to give us a story. Natasha, how was the Rock looking last night?
The student section was packed as always. Almost 3,000 Cougar fans came to support our undefeated women's volleyball team.
They have just been crushing it every single time, and it's so fun to be cheering them on from the student section. And I think that they're going to keep doing great, and I love showing them my support. And it's super fun to be a BYU Cougar.
BYU's women volleyball fans broke the previous attendance record a few weeks ago against the Utes when almost 5,500 fans came to support the team. They filled almost every inch of the Smith Fieldhouse. They were even turning fans away because there wasn't any more room.
Yeah, there's a huge vibe, especially when the Rock has a huge presence here. It's pretty awesome when it's loud in here and it just intimidates the other team. It's awesome. We feed off their energy. It's cool.
Last night's match against Loyola Marymount saw the same rush of support from the fans. The Cougars brought a 3-set win and remain undefeated this season. Not only were there 3,000 fans supporting our Cougs, they were also there in support of breast cancer awareness. The bleachers became a sea of pink shirts in support of the cause. The Cougars have been virtually unbeatable at home games with a 97% win rate since 2011. The players want the fans who support them both at the Fieldhouse and on the road to know that they are appreciated.
Just a big thank you. It really means a lot when they come out and support, and it helps a ton with their energy. So just thank you for coming.
A huge thank you, and please, please, please come to all the next games and for the rest of the season. And yeah, just we're so grateful. Like, we are where we are today because of the fans and the support that we have.
Tomorrow, the women's volleyball team faces off against the Pepperdine Waves. The Cougars have won the past 13 meetings with Pepperdine, and the Waves' only conference loss this season came against BYU. The match will be held here at the Smith Fieldhouse at 1 p.m. Make sure to get there early. It's Cosmo's birthday celebration, which means $1 Cougar Tails for the first 500 fans. Back to you.
Thanks, Natasha.
Last week, Sportsline reporter Adam Gibby went in depth about the women's volleyball team and the unique skill set that the BYU team captain and libero Mary Lake has. Today, we bring you the second part of his coverage, where he decided to dig even deeper.
This is me, Adam Gibby, and you may be wondering why I'm running onto a volleyball court with a football helmet on. It all started when BYU team captain Mary Lake told me this about getting a dig.
I think about it and I think this should hurt a lot more than it does, but it doesn't. I think anyone, once you do it a couple times, it becomes normal.
I still wasn't so sure, especially considering that Lake may be the best libero in the NCAA right now.
Hit back over by Haddock. There's Lake one more time.
Then she told me this and had me convinced.
Struggle comes with being disciplined enough to just be calm and trust your body to react. Because when you do that, you dig everything.
Everything? At this point, I figured that if all I needed was discipline and to stay calm, I could learn how to dig. So I asked her to give me a lesson.
So, first, we want our stance a little more than shoulder width apart.
Okay.
Want to get knees bent, forward. Nope.
No.
Forward. Look. Yep. Forward and down. Down. Yep. Okay, like this.
Okay.
And then digging with your hands. So do you want to watch me do one?
After a few examples, I felt ready to try it for myself. Which brings us back to this. After a few more failed attempts, I felt ready to try again for real.
Yeah! That was better than mine.
I took two things away from this lesson with Mary Lake. The first one was not so good.
My arms are absolutely just beat right now.
The most important, though, is a huge respect for the game of women's volleyball. To go after spikes like that and to consistently keep them in play is absolutely incredible. But it is something that Mary Lake has done 244 times this season to help dig her team to the #1 ranking in the nation. Reporting for Sportsline from the Smith Fieldhouse, I'm Adam Gibby.
Basketball season is almost underway, which means the West Coast Conference preseason coaches poll came out. BYU men's basketball is selected to finish third with Gonzaga at first and St. Mary's as second. Junior forward Yoli Childs is named the All-WCC preseason team, the only player from BYU. Childs averaged 17.8 points last season as the top returning player for BYU. The team's season officially kicks off tonight with the Cougar tip-off at 7 p.m. Mountain Time at the Marriott Center.
Switching to women's basketball, they're gearing up for another great season. Last night was their blue and white scrimmage, and these girls proved that they're ready to play. Sportsline reporter Kim Peterson has more on this story. And Kim, what can we expect to see this season?
BYU women's basketball is back. The fans and the team are so excited for a new season. With a team stacked with freshmen, Coach Jeff Judkins said he is expecting some serious teamwork.
Coach Judkins and the team are excited about the teams they will be facing on the hardwood.
I'm really excited about our game against Gonzaga this season. I think it's going to be a really good match. I think we have a good chance of winning there. Even though our team is really young, from watching our team play in the summer in Europe, our team has shown that they are not going to back down from a fight.
Moody is one of 2 seniors on the team and is excited to work with the newbies.
I'm looking forward to hopefully winning more games this year and being able to win a conference championship with my team.
While Mangum is just starting out, she's excited to win.
Well, of course, we want to win a conference championship. We want to go to the NCAA tournament. We want to be able to have a great season, with having opportunities to be able to play against really good teams. But
Coach Judkins is anticipating wins and for his team to work together and play hard. The girls really showed what they could do at last night's scrimmage. The blue team dominated the first game at 39-14, shooting a 44.4% as a team, including a solid 60% in the second quarter. Beasley Johnson led all scorers with 12 points in the first game. Brenna Chase contributed 4 assists for the blue team in the first game and led players with 15 points in the second game. The blue team still pulled out a win at 41-27 in the second game. Blue shot an impressive 51% from the field in the second game, as well as 5 3-pointers. Catch their first game on November 6th against Dixie State. Reporting in Provo for BYU Sportsline, I'm Kim Peterson.
Hold on to your socks. The first spot in the World Series has officially been taken. See how the team from Boston sealed their place in the October Classic.
And later, a BYU sport that's heating up this cold weather. What you can expect this season from this sizzling team.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana.
How does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high-five.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I bought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
The Boston Red Sox win the American League Championship and get to dance in the 2018 World Series.
The Red Sox are headed to the World Series.
The Red Sox beat the Houston Astros 4-1 and won the series 4-1. The Red Sox will play either the Los Angeles Dodgers or the Milwaukee Brewers in this World Series. Fans came together Thursday night to honor and remember the late Paul Allen, owner of the Portland Trail Blazers. Allen died at 65 years old earlier this week from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. There's been nothing but praise for Allen, who was at the helm of this franchise for 30 years. People say despite his wealth, Allen was just a regular sports fan.
The Denver Broncos ran over the Arizona Cardinals 45-10.
Chris Harris got a lane to the end zone for the touchdown.
Case Keenum of the Broncos was 14 for 21 passing with 161 yards and a touchdown. Josh Rosen of the Arizona Cardinals threw 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. He was also sacked a total of 4 times, and Bradley Chubb of the Broncos accounted for 2 of the sacks. The Broncos advanced their record to 3-4, and the Cardinals fall to 1-6. Singer Rihanna turned down the Super Bowl halftime show for former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick. Rihanna was the frontrunner, but she decided to pass due to the situation regarding the players kneeling during the national anthem. The Super Bowl routinely is one of the most watched television programs in the United States every year. Maroon 5 will now perform at the halftime show on February 3rd, 2019 at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia.
And stay tuned to Sportsline. Coming up, BYU tennis makes a showing at the regional tournament.
I just don't think people really understand all these kids put into this.
An inside look at a high school football player who is lined up to make an impact in college football.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be earthquake. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So, I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
While temperatures are cooling down outside, things are heating up for the BYU men's hockey team. Sportsline reporter Paul Swenson is here to tell you why you need to make your way over to one of their games this season. But first, hey Paul, you want to go on a date next weekend to the game?
Sure, but you're buying, right, Haley? After attending their game last weekend and learning more about this year's team, I'm convinced that all Cougar fans need to go to at least one game this season. After beginning their season nearly a month ago, the Cougar hockey team has posted a 2-1-1 record with wins over in-state rivals Utah Valley and Utah State. Players on the team agree that much of their success has come thanks to support from fans, both in the rink and out.
There's definitely an advantage playing here, having the crowd and having them kind of rally behind you and being loud and noisy and stuff. So it's always fun to play with that, and then just kind of helps get the team kind of motivated and get into it.
Along with in-game support, the Cougar hockey team relies on fans to help support the team financially. Because the team isn't supported by the school, players have to come up with around $2,000 each season to pay for all the expenses associated with being a member of the team. This money comes from fans, sponsors, donors, and eventually the players' own pockets. The Cougars play their home games here in the Peaks Ice Arena in Provo. Single game tickets for adults are only $5, $3 for students, and Rock Pass holders can get in for $1.50.
We're having thousands of fans come in buying these tickets. It really does help us so that we can even better our season, so that we can give the fans a better game to come to.
Despite having to pay many of the expenses themselves, members of the team are simply excited they can play the game they love.
5 guys from each team with an 8-ounce piece of rubber and a 4x6 net, and you are simply trying to kill each other over this 8-ounce piece of rubber, and you're trying to put it in that 4x6 net. And it's the fastest, most hard-hitting, exciting game that you can watch in person, I think, anywhere in the world. So.
Just a few years ago, the team struggled to get fans to come support them at their games. Things are much different this year, however, as many of their games have nearly 1,000 fans in attendance. The Cougars' next hockey match will be a week from today, Friday, October 26th, against rival Utah. Back to you.
BYU men's tennis fell short in the singles and doubles semifinals of the ITA regional tournament. Sean Hill and Jeffrey Sue won their first doubles match, but ultimately lost to Tim Handel and Ruben Montano of the NAU. Sam Toulouse and Ben Gajardo played in the doubles consolation semifinals and lost to Ricky Hernandez-Tong and Stephen Hollis of UNM. The Cougars will return home to prepare for the SoCal Intercollegiate Tournament.
2 sisters are currently playing for the BYU softball team, Aubrielle and Arissa Paulson. The sisters are from Payson, Arizona, not Payson, Utah, and have played softball for years. In fact, their older sister, Ariana, also played for the Cougars. Chris has more about this family legacy and how it started. Chris?
Sisters Arissa and Aubrielle Paulson both play for the BYU softball team. Aubrielle is a freshman and just joined the team, while Arissa is a junior, and they are excited to play together.
I'm very excited. I'm especially excited to play with my sister. I think
it's a lot of fun. Even just looking out there, sometimes I'll just start laughing or something because she's kind of goofy.
Though Aubrielle just joined the team, she says she already feels very welcome and accepted by the other players.
I met a lot of the team before, and so they kind of already knew me. I've been around for a while. I feel like I'm everyone's little sister, and I call them all mom, and they call me daughter.
And Arissa feels like she replaced the role of her older sister, Ariana, who also played on the team as a pitcher but just recently graduated.
I guess I took over my older sister's role because she was, before when I came in, she showed me all the things with school, with softball, how everything worked, and now I get the turn to do that for my younger sister.
They say their passion for softball comes from their dad. He started coaching softball years ago, and it became a bonding activity for him and his daughters as they grew up.
When I was a little girl, my 2 older sisters would be pitching with my dad, and I would get really jealous that they were spending time with him and I wasn't, so I just walk out there in my flip-flops and be like, that's it, I'm gonna pitch.
Millerfield is where the girls will play all their home games and where we as fans can come to cheer them on. While their season doesn't start until spring, they are playing games against various teams in the area this fall.
The sisters do expect the team to perform even better than last year and are excited to have that opportunity to play together. They play another game tonight at 5 p.m. against Snow College.
Not many people realize the dedication that high school athletes have when wanting to go on and play at the next level. Lindsay Peterson talked with one high school athlete, his coach, and his mom to find out more on what it takes to become a Division I college athlete. Lindsay?
According to the NCAA, only 6% of high school athletes go on to play at the college level. That means countless hours, money, and energy are spent by athletes and their parents in order to play at the next level. Orem High football coach Jeremy Hill runs a successful program with multiple boys with college offers.
We've got one commit who is Puka, and we've got 8 other kids currently on roster with offers.
Hill also understands that the pursuit to win state championships and receive college scholarships is a lifelong commitment.
These 2019 kids, I've coached most of them since somewhere in the 3rd to 7th grade, so I started coaching them at a young age, trying to teach them that that's what it takes, is doing stuff year-round.
One particular Orem athlete, Puka Nakua, is committed to play football at the University of Southern California. Puka has a brother making his way in the NFL and another brother who plays wide receiver at the University of Utah. This means the Nakua mother knows what it takes to play at the next level.
Like, we didn't just go from here and jump to here, you know, like it was a literal process. It takes a lot of hard work on both parts of parents and players.
Puka and other Orem players spend hours in the off-season lifting, working with position coaches, and traveling to camps around the country to perfect their skills. Puka also spends hours after practice to keep on top of his game.
In season, I try to work out outside of our football practice as much as I can just to keep my footwork at top point.
Time is not the only thing sacrificed. Financial sacrifices also have to be made by families in order for kids to pursue their dreams.
And my mom made huge sacrifices having not to plan other trips, family trips, in order for me to go out and look at the college that I did too.
I just don't think people really understand all these kids put into this. They show up on Friday night, they watch a 3.5 hour game. You know, they've got an opinion on everything, not knowing all the kids have gone through, all the coaches have gone through to prepare for it.
Despite all the time, money, and energy spent, Panina said she would do it all over again for her boys to play football after high school. In Orem, for Sportsline, I'm Lindsay Peterson.
Thanks, Lindsay. We'll be right back.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. Yeah, I get it. Testing. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
Why do you ask that, kiddo?
There were so many plays that happened this week, and we've got 3 of the best ones right here for you now. You know that no one is safe from Larry Fitzgerald as he finds his old quarterback, Kurt Warner, on the sideline and wraps him up for the sack. Fitzgerald and Warner were teammates on the Cardinals and lost in Super Bowl 43 together.
As the Red Sox ran away from the Astros in Game 5, Mookie Betts gets up for an at-the-wall snag. The Red Sox beat the Astros 4-1 and advanced to the World Series.
You know, there's Tall, and then there's Boban Marjanovic Tall, who can dunk a basketball on his tippy toes. And not only that, he alters the rim a bit, and so maintenance has to come out, fix the rim. That's not something you see every day.
It's time for predicts, and we're about to write you some verbal checks that you can cash in for some serious bragging rights with your friends. Boys, let's talk BYU basketball. Are they going to make it to the NCAA tournament?
No, not going to happen. Not the talent. Division's too good. Gonzaga, St. Mary's too good. Not going to beat them.
All right, look, BYU this year, they have a lot of experience coming back, and they have 5 games against teams who made the NCAA tournament last year. Those are resume builders. All BYU has to do is win 25 games. I think they're in this year.
I agree. They work on that three-point game, and they're there.
Adam, they have a lot of experience this year, but they're missing their best player. Elijah Bryant isn't on the team anymore. It's going to be tough to make the tournament this year.
They have talent. Childs is good, and they have Emery back, but they're just not good enough to beat elite programs like Gonzaga and St. Mary's.
You see, I just look at the WCC conference, and outside of Gonzaga, I just don't see any teams that are talent-wise better than BYU.
Well, putting that aside, let's make sure everyone knows what's happening this weekend in BYU sports. Basketball has their annual Cougar Tip-Off today at 7 p.m. in the Marriott Center, and the event is free to the public. And just before that, the softball team takes on the Badgers of Snow College at 5 p.m. on Gail Miller Field. Tomorrow at noon, the women's soccer team battles the Gales in Moraga, and then the volleyball team plays Pepperdine here at home at 1 p.m.
That's your sports line for today, Friday 19th.
Thank you for joining us, and as always, we want to wish you a Merry Friday, and let's all say it together. Can we all say go Cougs on 3? 1, 2, 3. Go Cougs! Thank you, boys.